guys, give a huge shout out. Give a huge shout out to all of you on this call, especially, the ones I mentioned personally. I've seen you guys really killing the game. And for those of you killing the game behind the scenes, it's not too long before someone notices you. And don't think that your hard work goes unnoticed. We see who gets on these calls. We see who takes the notes. We see whose back office is going up. We see who's getting results. We see who's asking the questions. We know who is actually taking this business seriously, guys. And one thing that my mentors taught me was that, hey man, if you treat this business like a hobby, you're gonna get paid like a hobby, and that's not at all, little to not at all. But if you treat this actually like a business, you will get paid like it's a business. And in business, there's very little cap on your actual income. So, I am gonna get into a couple things tonight on this call. It's the art of promoting and leveraging, and those are the things I'm going to get on this call. And before I get into that information, I just want to point out the people that have their cameras on and they have a notebook and they can show me their notebooks are on the camera. That is the people that are going to make the most money in this business, in this organization. Because why is that, guys? Because note takers are money makers. But when you are writing down your notebooks tonight, keep in mind that to know and not do is not to know. That means if you don't do what you know, you categorically do not know it. So realize that, guys. There's this formula, the simple formula, the LAT: learn, apply, and then teach. In everything that you're learning tonight, do it with the intention that, I'm going to go ahead and give that a try, and then I'm going to go ahead and teach the same thing to my team. So when you're writing down these notes, remember, these are the builders on this call. These are the people that want to go ahead and hit Chairman 10 and above, right? Drop a 333 if you want to go Chairman 10 and above by the end of this year in 2020. If you're going to be there in September in Houston, you're really going to go ahead and hit Chairman 10. The skill sets I'm going to go over tonight are very important. It's important that not only you know it, but that you can do it and lead by example and show your team how to do it as well. It's really important for you to grasp this information. And before I get into, all the promoting, all the leveraging and what that looks like and how that works, first things first, guys, you should ask yourself this question right now. Number one, what am I grateful for today, right now? What am I grateful for in my life currently? Because if you're not grateful for where you are at now, you will never be able to receive anything more. And the people that are ungrateful, people that are mad, upset all the time, they're sending out those frequencies and vibrations to the universe, and that's what they're getting back over and over and over. So if you can be grateful now when you have little to nothing, eventually you're going to get all that things you're being grateful for now. It's coming to you in divine time. So what are you grateful for right now? And then the second question you should ask yourself is, how coachable and teachable am I right now? And what that means, guys, it means what is your willingness to learn new information and what is your willingness to accept change? Willingness to learn, and you should write this down. This is one of the 4 basics to success, and it's one of, if not the most important one of all. What is your willingness to accept change? So, realize this, guys. If your business is in massive momentum right now, use some discernment. Find what I'm giving you tonight that speaks to you, resonates with you, and implement that. Integrate the information into your business. And for those of you that are not currently experiencing momentum, maybe you just got started, maybe your team's stagnant right now, maybe your team had a pullback, maybe you just got started, like I said. And that is the case, you really need to look yourself in the mirror and say, what I'm currently doing is not working, or I'm not doing anything at all. So guess what? I need to learn something different and do something different to get a different result. Drop a 222 or give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Hey, I got to do something different to get a different result. What I'm currently doing is getting me to the result I'm getting. If you're one of those few individuals, if you're one of those people that you're going ham right now, you're really just, your business is exploding. There's a lot of people in this call, this business has exploded in the last 3, 4, 5 weeks. And I've seen it. I've seen it in my organization. I've seen it in Ray's organization, Gustavo, Ricky, whoever's team you're on, you realize that we see there's massive growth amongst the organization right now. It's amazing and it's a blessing. It's truly a blessing. But realize this, what are you willing to learn and what are you willing to change, meaning doing something differently? And last call on Wednesday, we went over the information, the PS3, what's the best way to expose the business and things like that. And tonight we're going to be getting in more of those technical, subtle energy things that are really important when it comes to this business that, not a lot of people do, but those that do get the most and best results. And, one thing that I've learned, guys, is network marketing is not a see what I can do myself game. It is a leveraging game. It's really a leveraging game. But, growing up, most of us, we're programmed to think like an employee. We're programmed to think that we have to do everything to get the result. And guys, I'm telling you right now, that is simply not true, because if you think that hard work is your answer, you're going to be overworking yourself for the rest of your life, and you're always going to have to do it. Guess what, guys? It does take hard work to be successful in this business, but do you want the work to be easy or hard? Because it can be much easier if you implement the things that I'm going to give you guys tonight. So make sure you have a pen and paper in your hand, because I'm going to get into some very simple but very effective information. And the first thing I'm going to go over, guys, is leveraging, guys. So when it comes to leveraging, what I'm saying is keep in mind, leveraging, what is the definition of leveraging? What does leveraging even mean? Meaning you are using someone else or something else outside of yourself to go ahead and either present the business, teach, do a training, maybe set up. For example, guys, when I bring someone into the business, a lot of times people have a lot of questions to ask. Most people do have a lot of questions to ask, and it is a very good thing to be there for each and every question that someone has. And you know what? It's even smarter if you can actually have a video to send to someone. It's actually smarter if you know someone else that can even give them the information for you. Because, guys, this business does not pay you to work hard. It pays you to be productive. This business does not pay you to be busy. It pays you to be productive. What is the bottom line? What is the result? Oh, you did 20 calls today? Awesome. Oh, you posted 10 times on social media today? Hey, that's awesome. Oh, you ran 10 trainings this week? Oh, you posted. Okay, but what was the result of that? What was the bottom line? What was the number? And like I said, guys, you should write that down. This business pays you to be productive, not to be busy. And a lot of people, they think they're doing the right things. They're personal developing all day, which I do. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but a lot of times we get so caught up in personal development, or maybe we get so caught up in watching YouTube videos, or maybe we get so caught up in scrolling on Instagram, or maybe we're just calling our team all day, or maybe we're doing who knows what. But at the bottom line, is your business growing? Ask yourself this question: if my team did what I did today, what would my business look like? And that's the question you should ask yourself, because how can you expect someone else to do what you currently are not doing? So, and I'm going to get you guys some simple things, like make sure you write this down. Leveraging, when I say leveraging, I'm talking about, hey, guess what? You know how to trade. I know how to trade too. You guys saw me. I did a trading webinar last night. I very rarely do them, because why? Because there are people better than me, making more money than me, have more experience than me, that are paid to give the education for me. So I don't even have to do that. And guess what? Gustavo Alanis, he's running the opportunity call every single day. So guess what? I don't even have to do that either. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to work smarter, not harder. I'm going to work smarter, not harder. I'm going to leverage what's in place for me already. And if you guys are in the group chats, you see Ricky Valdez. He does the launch trainings every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And you see there's all kinds of leaders that are stepping up and running their own schedules on opportunity calls. So make sure you are leveraging those, and realize that the people that have the results typically have the right information, and they've implemented it into their daily routine and their habits. That's really the difference between someone that's achieving massive success and someone that's not achieving any success, is their implementation of creating the right habits. They got to create the right habits. So, if you don't know what to do, first you got to find out what to do. And once you know what to do, you just got to do it over and over and over, and put it into your daily routine. Make it, shout out to Renee. I see he had a training last week really going over this, and the fact that he's got his whole hour schedule, he's got his whole schedule blocked in and exactly what he's going to do at this time. And that's why he's going to be hitting chairman in the next 90 days, because he is consistent, and he actually sets up his schedule to where he knows exactly what he needs to do. And, he's just very consistent. So shout out to Renee. I already know Chairman's in his done. Shout out to Michael. He's just going so ham that, actually, guys, he's actually about to hit Platinum 1000. Shout out to my boy Matt. I don't know if he's on this call. Matt just hit Platinum 600 today. Shout out to you, bro. You know, a lot of people are really killing this business right now. And the ones that I see really killing it are the ones that create the right habits. But also, I have someone, I'm not going to name any names, but I have a couple people that are actually about really close to smashing Platinum 1000 that they currently have not ran a presentation or a training. And that's what kind of inspired me to actually do this call tonight. And a lot of times we think we have to do everything, and a lot of people get stuck because they can't do it right or they're not good enough yet. Guys, when I got started, I was not the best presenter. I was not the best speaker, and I still am not today, guys. What I pride myself on doing is working smarter, not harder, and actually leveraging what is out there for me. You know, in all of my first entire year in the business, I didn't do a single building training because why? Gustavo and Ray were doing the trainings. Emery was doing the training. Darwin was doing the training. And what I was doing was I was inviting and promoting to those trainings because, you know, I felt as a Platinum 1000, you know, maybe I don't even know the information well enough. If there's a chairman and above, a chairman 50 and a Platinum 1000 doing a training, who am I to run a training right now? That was really my mindset. And I think that I credit a lot of my growth because I was willing to leverage someone else that had more success than me. And, you know, one thing psychologically, the reason why we leverage other people is because here's the thing, guys, the majority of people that join the business, they don't believe that they can do everything that you're doing. So if you're one of those grinders, one of those people that are really killing the business right now, maybe that works for you and you're going to be successful. Majority of people, they join, they want to see what's the little amount they can do and still get the results. So when you can start teaching them how to leverage and promote, invite and edify, they don't have to do all those bulky things that typically a Platinum 2000 and above would do all the time. You know, when you can just teach a brand new person, hey, you can actually go ahead and hit Platinum 600, Platinum 1000 without even doing a presentation, without even running a training, because you are inviting to those trainings because their trainings are already being had. The opportunity calls are already being had. So if you're that brand new person that you feel like, you know, maybe you're not skilled enough, maybe you're not that good, you're not as good of a speaker yet, you don't know what to say, well, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to know what to say. You just have to know where to send people for the information. You just got to know where to send people for the information. So leveraging, I'm saying, hey, if you spend 30 minutes of your time to set up someone's broker, to show them every single detail of the academy, which, like I said, which you can do, but as your business grows and as your team grows, you know, time, you only have so much time. So what you need to do, not over leverage, but like, think about it like this, guys. What if you had a video of, hey, this is how you go through the academy. Hey, this is how you go through Go Live. Hey, what if I had a video that said, this is what I do on social media? What if I had a video that said, this is how I set up my MT4? What if there's a video of how to master the invite? You know what this does? This saves you time from being busy so that you can actually be productive. And a lot of times people, they want to be busy so they can avoid doing what actually gets them results. Because why? It's not your fault. We're just programmed to think like employees thinking. We don't get paid for hours of work. We get paid for production, what we produce. And a lot of times in this industry, you're going to have to put a lot of work in up front just so that fact that you can start getting things rolling. But if you want to get things rolling, start using income producing activities instead of being busy. You know, when you actually have systems set in place, maybe you have a video, you know, maybe you're inviting to your uplines opportunity call, maybe you're inviting to your uplines training, maybe you're inviting to a chairman above training, maybe you're inviting to Go Live, you're promoting. And promoting is the other thing I really want to get into. Promoting. You know, promoting is one thing that's not really done enough. And, you know, I just want to give a huge shout out to Kyle Prasad. You know, his first year and a half in the business, you know, he was literally the best promoter I've ever seen in my life. And, you know, today he's actually outsourcing, having someone promote for him, you know, working smarter and not harder. So it's just a shout out to him. You know, one thing that I really love about Kyle, and the reason why he's Platinum 5000, about to hit Chairman 10, is he's always been one of the most coachable people ever. And, you know, a lot of times, guys, he wasn't even asking questions to me. He was going straight to the source. He was going to Gustavo. He was going to Darwin. He was going to Emery. He was skipping me and going to the people above me because, hey, if you're really about your business, you're going to go talk to the person with the greatest result because that's the result you want to get. So shout out to him for thinking big from the very beginning. And that's why I know he was able to see massive success in just his first not even 2 years yet, only 17 years old, about to smack Chairman 10. Because why, guys? He's very coachable. When I say coachable, I'm saying he learns the right information and then he does it instead of doing what he's already doing. He decides to learn from people that already have the results, does what they do, because why? It's proven to already work. It's already proven to work. There's so many videos of Chairman 100, Chairman 500 trainings on YouTube. You know, one thing me and Kyle always did, you know, back in 2018 when we just got started, you know, we didn't really go ahead and ask all of our uplines for the help all the time, because if we had a problem, we knew that the solution was on YouTube. Just look up, hey, so how do I invite to a call? Hey, how do I launch to a call? You know, for me, I just wanted to save my mentor's time. You know, I said, you know what, if the problem's big enough, I'll go ask them. You know, one thing I think you should go ahead and ask for anything, guys, because one thing that I've learned, it's literally in the Bible, you know, ask and it is given, ask and you shall receive. So if you are having any problems, go ahead and reach out for help immediately, because one way to get stuck on a problem is to let it grow, to really focus on the problem. And really, you got to focus on solutions, not problems. And if you're focused on the solution, you're going to do whatever it takes to get to the solution as soon as possible. Because why? Whatever you focus on grows. Whatever you focus on grows. So make things easier for yourself and say, you know what? I don't have to figure out everything by myself. You know what? I have a couple mentors. I have a couple uplines. I have people that already know what to do in the situation, who's been in the situation before. Let me go ahead and hit them up and ask them for help. And if they don't answer in time, hey, guess what? I have a YouTube video. Alex Morton has a video. David Imaniche has a video. Austin Godsey has a video. There's already trainings on YouTube that you can go ahead and get to. And you know, one thing I love about YouTube, and one second, guys, one second. Yeah, please do not annotate on the screen. Thank you. And really to get into the information of leveraging and promoting, you know, promoting is one of those things, like if there's something important, whether it's a training, whether it's an opportunity call, whether it's go live, guys, make sure when I say promoting, I'm not saying just drop it in the chat and then hope someone sees it, because we all know, guys, that does not work very well. If you just drop it in the chat and that is all, you know, one of the most effective ways to promote is actually to send a text, send a voice message, send a call, depending on how many people it is. You know, a lot of you guys, a lot of you leaders already, you have iMessage groups. You know, drop the important webinar in there. Hey, drop the important training in there. Drop the go live that, you know, Manny Quinones is going live. You know, share it with your team. You know, especially brand new people. You know, you got to realize, for those of you that have been in the business for a while, you already know what to do. You already know when the go lives are, when the trainings are. You already know these things. But a brand new person, you know, it's a whole new language to them. They don't really know what's going on yet. So just taking that little extra effort to send them the link. And notice, guys, how easy is it to actually just copy and paste a link versus taking 30 minutes, an hour to train them by yourself. You know, I am saying learn, apply, teach, but I'm saying work smarter over harder, because be productive. And, you know, if you guys are getting value from these trainings, if you're learning new things, wouldn't it make sense that if you gave your team access to the same exact information? Hey, if you're making money on live Gold Cup sessions, wouldn't it make sense if you went ahead and shared that with individual people on your team, because you want them to get the same value you're getting, right? Drop a 222 if I'm making sense so far. Like, wouldn't it make sense if you're making money or you're doing something right, you're learning something, wouldn't it make sense to go ahead and tell that to someone that's either new or just someone that you know needs to be on the call? Someone that you know would benefit from it. Hey, someone on your team said, hey bro, you know, I've been having trouble. I need to get my 2 and 3. Everyone's saying no. Hey, why don't you tell them to get on the building training every Monday, Wednesday, Friday? You know, wouldn't that make sense? Hey bro, I haven't made any money trading yet. Why don't you tell them when the go lives are live, whichever ones you use, whether it's Manny, whether it's the harmonic scanner, whether it's Gold Cup, whether it's Zach and Jordan, whether it's Abel Melendez, whether it's Mike Miles. Like, wouldn't it make sense, instead of you trying to do everything yourself, be the person that go ahead and leverage someone else, leverage the product, leverage the webinars, leverage go live, leverage your upline, leverage resources, system, guys. Write this down. System. Save yourself time, energy, and money. Save yourself time, energy, and money, because if you're spending 2-3 hours a day on busy activities, that's 2-3 hours you could use to be productive. That's 2-3 hours you could use to be productive. So, you know, really look at your time, especially if you're someone that's in a place right now where they really need to see success in this business. They need to get out of their situation, maybe at home, maybe at work, maybe they just don't want to work a job the rest of their life. you know, maybe you just really about making money. Like maybe you just want to make a lot of money. Maybe you want to impact a lot of people. Regardless of the situation, it's all the same. Are you busy or are you productive? Are you busy or are you productive? And, you know, getting into the leveraging one last time, you know, when it comes to leveraging, I'm just going to take the whiteboard off and really just speak to you guys real quick. Just a couple, you know, subtle energy things that I've noticed, that I've learned over the period of time, you know, and it's just that when you leverage someone else, like let's say for a three-way call, if you leverage someone else, what's happening is it's not about you being the best presenter, and it's not about you being the best at doing anything, guys. And a lot of times we try to, as soon as we join, we try to go post on Forex, we go post Forex on Facebook, on Instagram, trying to sound like we are going to be teaching you. And that's what really throws people off, because they know you just started it or you're young. A lot of us on this call just look at our faces, you know, drop in the chat, what age are you right now? You know, I see the majority of us here are probably either in the teenage or early 20s. And, you know, just by seeing faces, you know, 17, 15, 18, 23, 20, 19, like we're young. So people don't see someone young as necessarily someone experienced enough to be credible when it comes to making money online or investing. And that is why, regardless how much results you currently have, leverage someone else that does have results. It doesn't even have to be someone better than you. No one is better or worse than you, but who has a greater result? They have the credibility. You know, we kind of went into this in the call on Wednesday. Some people actually go for, you and your prospect have trust, but not respect. You and your prospect and your upline have respect, but not trust. You're merging the two. And what's happening is they have the credibility. Listen, you could be leveraging a P150 or a P600, and you could be a P150 or a P600, and you could literally just say, hey, this guy's making a ton of money. This guy's helping a lot of people. And you could really just say it like that. And what's going to happen is it just gives that other person credibility. And if the prospect does not know your upline, and especially if they don't know either of you, they literally only know what you tell them. They literally only know what you tell them. You don't have to tell them everything. Being honest is important, but when it comes to leveraging and when it comes to promoting the different things, like I said, guys, the opportunity calls, you know, depending on what team you are on, for those of you who want to go chairman and above, of course, you're going to go ahead and just run op calls all day long. You're going to do whatever it takes. For me, one thing I did to leverage something else other than myself to save my time, you know, every time since it's probably been a year straight since I have done an actual opportunity call one-on-one for a prospect or one-on-two for my own personal list. Because the reason why, guys, I like to utilize systems that save myself time, energy, and money. So let's say maybe someone can't hop on the op call at 3 p.m. Maybe someone can't hop on the op call at 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. But guess what? If someone is ready to see the information, you should give them a call, run the PS3, but instead of the op call or doing an op call, why don't you have a video recorded presentation that you can send that to them? And you could really make it a really good one. You can put one of your uplines on the call, whatever you want to do, but the whole point is making things work easy for you. Like, you got to let the system work for you. And if you're always doing everything, you're always going to have to do everything. So what I recommend is, you know, go ahead and make some videos on how to go through the back office or how to go through Go Live, or get a recorded presentation of yourself. And it's something that I learned from Emery, you know, Chairman 100, Mr. Banks on Instagram. You've seen him. And yeah, shout out to everyone that's got their cameras on. Mr. Banks, this is what he told me to do. He said, hey, record yourself running a presentation. And guys, listen, you can go through numbers fast. Just imagine if you voice messaged 100 people, you could do that in probably the next 5 to 10 minutes, right? You can voice message 100 people, a 15-second message. Whoever replies, hey, send them the video. Hey, 10 minutes later, call them. Hey, did you get a chance to check out the video? Like, you guys can really run through numbers when you're thinking of how can I expose the most people in a little amount of time? How can I do little work and still receive greater results? It's called save yourself time, energy, and money. Say less to more people, because why? You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, meaning it won't take you that long for the right person. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person, meaning you cannot convince someone that's not qualified to sign up. And if you do, like, good for you, but was it really worth 30 minutes, an hour of your time? Hey, do you want to spend 30 minutes on one person, or do you want to spend 3 minutes with 10 people, right? Because the 2 out of 10 that are going to sign up are going to be ready in 3 minutes, right? Like, that's the way you got to think. Think a system, think in leveraging something else to save you time, energy, and money. What's going to save you time, energy, and money? Because when you save yourself time, energy, and money, it's like this overflow of energy just opens up to you because you realize, wow, I don't have to just grind my face off all day long. Like I don't have to because I have systems in place. Let me do the little things right consistently every single day. Because this business is built best when you go fast, right? The business is built going fast, but realize that consistency over and over every single day over a period of time, and it could be littler things, is way better than someone that goes hard for a week and then doesn't do anything for 3 weeks. So they go hard for a month or two and then they don't do anything for a month or two. Because guys, you need consistency to see a consistent result, right? A consistency to see a consistent result. And 9 out of 10 times when someone deranks in the business, I've been through this myself. I've seen this personally. A lot of you probably have seen this personally. The reason why someone deranks is because they stopped doing what they did to get there. It's pretty simple. Or they stopped being coachable. They got to a new rank. They've never been there before. They haven't learned the responsibilities yet, and they still think they can do it all by themselves. And then when you really do that, that's why your business is either not growing or it stopped growing and really went the wrong ways, because you got to a new level and tried to keep doing what you're doing, didn't learn anything new, or you just stopped doing what you did in the first place. One of those two things, a lot of times, make sure you always stay humble, make sure you always stay coachable. Ego will really kill your results in this business. Ego will really just hold you back so far. If you think you have to do it by yourself or you think you know the best way, guys, literally, I can tell you right now that if Gustavo tells me to do something, I do it without even questioning him. If Darwin tells me I should do something, I don't even question him. I literally say, okay, bet, I'm going to do it. Because why? They have the results that I want, so they clearly would know better than me that currently does not have the results. Does that make sense to you guys? Drop a 555 because 555 is for change. Does that make sense to you right now? Someone who has the results you want can literally tell you what to do. It takes the pressure off of you to be the smart guy, to be the best presenter, to be the best builder, because all you got to do is copy someone that's already doing it. That's all you got to do. Just find someone who's really killing in this business right now. Find someone who's ranking up, who's hitting the rank events. Send them a text. Hey, bro, so what did you do to hit Platinum 1000? What did you do to hit Platinum 2000? Hey, what did you do to hit P5K? You guys should send a text to Kyle if you have his number. Hey, bro, what did you do to hit P5K? You send a text to Gustavo. Bro, I heard you about to hit Chairman 25. So what are you doing? So how'd you do that? And, just regardless if you think what's going to happen is his information that he gives you plus the information you already know, it's creating new neural pathways in your brain so that you can come up with an even better solution than you thought of yourself, right? You can even come up with a better solution than you thought of yourself. And that's just how this energy thing works. Whatever energy you're giving off is what you're going to get back. And that's why I said at the very beginning of the call to make sure you are being grateful right now for your current situation. Be grateful for your organization. Be grateful for Christopher Terry, right? Be grateful for Christopher Terry. He didn't have to start this company. Be grateful for the person that sponsored you in this business. They didn't have to put you on their list. They didn't have to answer your DM. They didn't have to call you. So be grateful for those people. You can go ahead and send them a text. Hey, thank you for showing me I Am Mastery Academy. Hey, thank you for introducing me to Forex. Because, man, I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't doing this, guys. Literally, I know a lot of you guys can probably agree with that. Where would you be right now in your life if you did not get started in this business? Pretty much anyone that's been in the business, whether it's 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year and plus, the amount of personal growth that you've had and the relationships that you've been able to build, that alone is worth the money. And now guess what? When you grow, your income grows. So guess what? Now you're going to start getting paid as well too. But the people that quit before they see the result never get the result. The people that stick around when it looks difficult, those are the ones that end up prevailing every single time, 10 out of 10 times. Some of the top leaders in my organization today, their first 6 months, they either weren't building at all or they're only P150. And now today you're seeing them P2K, P5K, about to hit chairman, all these people. And the reason why is, guys, be patient with people. Realize not everyone is ready to run at your speed when you start. But guess what? When you bring someone to the business, you find out a couple of things from them. You really want to know, hey, are you going to be a trader and pay your membership? Are you going to be a trader and get your 2 and free? Are you going to be a trader and you're going to build it? Hey, how hard do you want to go? Hey, do you want to really get after it right now? Do you want to be a professional or an amateur in this business? These are just some questions you can ask. And hey, if they want to go hard, if they want to be a professional, if they want to hit a rank in the first, as soon as they join, like, it is your mission to go ahead and make sure they make that list. Make sure you introduce them to someone, one of your P1K above, probably chairman above if you can. If someone's really ready to get to the next level, like immediately upon joining, here's the thing, guys, people will go at the pace you set them at. People will literally go at the pace you set them at, right? So when you understand how that works, a lot of times we bring people in and you want them to build a business. You want to help them build a business, but we take it too slow with the people that actually want to build, right? And a lot of times some other people do it the other way as well. They take it too hard on people that don't want to build and try to force them to build. And then, people can end up quitting from that. So that's why I said, identify right away. Hey, do you want to make some extra income residually? Hey, are you going to build a business? Do you want to build a business? Do you want to make a lot of money or a little money? And here's the thing, guys, they don't have to say yes. They don't have to be a builder. No one has to build. But guess what? If you cannot pay your membership, we got to go ahead and get your 2 and free. We got to go ahead and get your 2 and free. And it's really that simple. That's how you got to approach it. If they just want to trade, do not make them build. It's that simple. Don't think that they have to build, because it really only takes 3 to 5 people with the same work ethic as you to create massive momentum in your business. If you can get 3 to 5 people to do what you're doing, you're going to have massive momentum in your business. You don't have to have your whole team do it. You don't have to have half your team do it. If you can just have a good 10 to 20% of your business doing what you're doing, you're going to really duplicate the numbers really quickly. When you have a few people doing what you're doing. Okay, so make sure you identify that. Are you a trader? Are you a builder? Or are you going to get your 2 and free? And, write this down. I want to go over this one last time. I want to mention this again, just in case someone did not write this down, because this is really important. Make sure you find out how financially qualified they are to pay their membership for a year straight, because it might take you a year to see the results you want. Will you be able to pay? Is that in your budget to pay $175 a month for a year? If they say no, okay, let's go ahead and get your 2 and free in your first month. It's that simple. I'm going to help you. I'll get on the calls with you. I'll get on the calls for you. Hey, you don't want to talk to them? Okay, give me your list. Okay, give me your list. Perfect. Awesome. Sounds great. Hey, bro, I'm going to help you get your free membership because I know you wanted to be a great trader, and I want to make sure that you can afford the education long enough for you to see the results you want. I want to make sure you can plug into the products and not have to rush. I hate when people they don't have enough money to really do this with a peace of mind, and they try to rush on the trading side, and it ends up making them have to go inactive. They can't even pay the membership, or they have to quit altogether because they don't think they can do it because they blew an account trying to rush the process. So guys, listen, if you're in that spot right now, I promise you, get that P600 coming in. You can trade with a peace of mind. Trading, you need the peace of mind. Make sure you let your customers know that. And this is a building call. So these people on this call, you're here to acquire new customers, figure out what's the best way to build a business. You're here to learn this information. And here's the thing, guys. Christopher Terry, I Mastery Academy, guess what? They pay you to do 2 things: acquire new customers and teach new customers how to acquire new customers. That's the 2 things you get paid for as a distributor in I Mastery Academy. You get paid to acquire new customers and teach new customers how to acquire new customers. And notice I said new customers. Now here's the thing. Here's what a lot of us do, and I've done this myself, and I can tell you from experience, a lot of you can probably relate to this once I say it, right? It's easier to make a baby than to wake the dead. It's easier to make a baby than to wake the dead. And what does that mean? A lot of times we get a team of 5 people, of 10 people, 20 people, 30 people. And what we do is we try to motivate the old team that's obviously not wanting to build right now, instead of going ahead and getting new people, because your momentum, write this down, your momentum is with the brand new customer. Okay? Your momentum with a brand new customer. How many of you guys, drop a 1 in the chat if you brought someone in and a month later you tried to help them build and it just was very unsuccessful? Nothing really happened, right? Drop a 1 if that's been you. You brought someone in, it didn't build the first month, now you're trying, or maybe 3 months, or maybe 6 months, right? And here's why: because that is definition of trying to wake the dead. And it's not a bad thing. If they want to trade and make money on Gold Cup, that's totally fine. That's what we want. The whole point is to have people make money trading, right? It's the whole point. We want you to do that. But guess what? If you want them to build, your best builders are your brand new customers. Yep, I said it. It's not your P600s, it's not your P1Ks. It's not, hey, listen, if you get a brand new customer, make sure you go out of your way to meet the brand new customer. Because guess what? When I bring you in the business, you are my best friend. Guess what? When you bring someone in, now that person's my best friend. Okay? The momentum is with your brand new customer. That is where your momentum is. Why? Because they're the most excited. They haven't failed at anything yet. and they are just ready. They're ready to see what's about to happen. They don't even know what's going to happen. They only know what you tell them and the energy you give them. If you give them certainty and belief that I know you will see success, that's what they will believe, and that's what they will do. But a lot of times we try to baby people saying, hey, let's take it slow, and I've done this myself. That's why I can tell you this. Hey, let's, at your own pace, we're going to get you there. 6 months, we got you. A year. Hey, but guess what? If you tell them, if you set the expectation, hey, you want to build a business, you want to go hard. Hey, let's go ahead and get you P600 in the first week. Hey, let's go ahead and get you 2 and 3 in the first 48 hours. Because why? If you say that with certainty and belief, you're transferring your energy into them. You're transferring your belief and certainty into them. And if you can make them believe in themselves more than they believe in themselves already, that's when you are going to start popping ranks massively fast, because you're giving. Guys, look at David Imanite, Chairman 500, right? What has he been doing? What has he been doing this entire time? He puts belief into other people. That's what he does. That's why he's a Chairman 500. He makes you believe in yourself more than you already do. And guess what? Belief creates action. Action creates result. Write that one down. Belief plus action equals result. Because guess what, guys? You don't have to hit up your team and ask them if they're presenting the business. You don't have to hit up your team and ask them if they're doing the right things. All you got to do is know where their belief level's at. And if you can put belief into them, they will do the action without you having to tell them, right? Because if they believe they can do it, they will. If they can believe they can do it, they will do it, whatever that is. And trust me, guys, if you don't think that you have the right direction, or if you don't know what to do, a lot of times, guys, just doing whatever you think first is the best. Your first instinct always works. If you can just say that in your head, hey, you know what? I'm not going to second guess myself. I'm just going to do whatever I feel. I'm going to do whatever I think. Oh, right now, boom, right now will get you results, right? Because the only time is now, boom, it's a new moment, right? Between me snapping the fingers, that was hesitation. And guess what, guys? Hesitation kills all action. Hesitation is called the law of diminishing intent. You should write this down. Law of diminishing intent. The longer it takes for you to take action on an idea decreases the chance of it actually happening tremendously, to the point where it probably won't even happen. So, but when you get the idea, it's called inspired thought. And if you've read Think and Grow Rich, first of all, if you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, I recommend you read the book, because it talks about acting on inspired thought. Successful people act when they get an inspired thought immediately. And a lot of times, I've done this before myself, right? I will get an idea, I'll plan it out for 3 hours, and then what happened? I didn't do anything. When I could have just taken action on the first moment I got the idea. Hey, boom. Because guess what? Inspired action always works. When you feel good and you take action, it works every single time. Every single time. Nothing can go wrong if you're feeling good and you just don't hesitate. Guess what? Fear only exists when you hesitate. That's the only way it can exist. If you just take action immediately, there's no fear. There's no fear if you just, you know what? All right, I'm going to do it. You know what? I'm going to go text my upline. You know what? I'm going to go call the prospect. I'm going to go write my list. I'm going to go voice message 100 people. I recommend sending voice messages. If you're one of the people like me, my first probably 6 months in the business, I barely called any prospects because I was afraid to talk on the phone. But what I did was, which was very effective, I voice messaged them on Instagram and on Facebook and through text, and I got them on opportunity calls from voice messaging instead of calling them. So for those of you that are afraid to pick up the phone, which most people are if they're not used to doing it, hey, well, why don't you try voice messaging? Voice message 50 people. Hey, give them a compliment. Hey, what did you like about their page? Give them a compliment. Let them know, I think you'd make a lot of money doing what I do. I think you should check out what I do. I think you'd be good at it. Just put it towards them. Don't sound like you're trying to sign them up. Sound like, I have something that I think you would benefit from. You would be good at this. You would make money with this. And by the way, if you started off with a compliment, they're going to listen to you. I talked about this last call. It's one of the most important things, in this business is complimenting and edifying other people, whether it's a prospect or someone on your team, celebrating the success that's in your organization. If you guys have a new rank up in your business, make sure everyone on your team shares that flyer on Instagram, right? Make sure they do that. It's called cross-edification, cross-pollination of social media. So go ahead and do that. And guess what? Someone hit TP in the chat. If you guys have a signal chat, if you guys are on Go Live and someone hits a TP, make sure you promote that in your chat. Make sure you send out a text to your brand new customer. Hey, I just made $20 on the Go Live with Kim and Luke this morning. Hey, I just made $50. You should make sure you plug in, right? So if you're doing that, what are you doing? You're giving them belief. Action comes from belief. and action creates the results, right? This law of attraction, this law of action, it literally, you can't have one without the other. If you don't believe you can do it, you're not going to take action. And if you don't take action, it's not going to matter anyway, right? It's not going to matter anyway. So, with that being said, that's really as deep as I'm going to go until we actually have 15 minutes so we can actually go into some Q&A, some questions, and get some questions answered. And I'm sure there's a lot of you that have some good questions to ask. And, I'm excited to give you some insight. So, go ahead and raise your hand or drop the question in the chat, whichever one it may be. If you want to get on YouTube on the recording, unmute yourself. And because we're going to drop this training recording on YouTube. So for those of you that have questions, think of some questions, whether it comes to the things we went over tonight, whether it's general concepts, mindset building, whatever it is, let's go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, Renee, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you.
Johnny, press the button. All right, so pretty much my question is, what do you do as like objection if they're interested but they're not interested? What are you going to do with that?
So you're saying like they're showing some interest but they don't want to get started yet. Is that what you're saying? Or what are you saying?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got another question. What if they join the organization, they pay the subscription, but they don't use it? What do you do with that?
Okay. Hey, I've actually had that happen multiple times. And hey, if they don't, some people we got to realize people learn differently. Some people don't want help. They just want to figure it out by themselves and just stay in their own head. And hey, if that works for you, maybe I've had people, I found out a year later that they're just randomly active and, oh yeah, I've been making money on the products. I haven't talked in the chats or anything, but I've been making money. And I was like, oh wow, like they don't even, sometimes people don't even need the help. They just will figure it out by themselves. So that's with that. And then as far as someone that's interested, but not really interested, what I always do is I don't burn any bridge. I don't force anyone. I don't apply too much pressure to those certain people. But there's, you can be passive or active with that. Like, honestly, it's like the thing is, the whole point is you want them to think of you when they think of Forex. Because when they are ready to do Forex, they'll automatically hit you up. You don't want to get the sign up now all the time. You just want to plant the seed, put them on your list, and remember them. Guys, going into that a little bit deeper, I have a list of probably 10, 20, 30, 40 people that I have post notifications on Instagram, people that are not even in my business. And I just make sure I like and comment on every one of their posts. I just like and comment on their posts, showing them that, hey, I actually value our relationship. I'm not trying to sign you up. I could have told you about Forex all the time. There's people that I haven't even mentioned Forex about. Why? Because if I like 10 posts of theirs in a row and I have Forex in my bio, I don't have to message them. They're going to message me if and when they want to do that. That's called being an alpha networker. You don't have to chase anyone. People will want to join you when you give off that energy. So, that's what I would say when it comes to that question. And okay, Kyle. Yep. Okay, Rob.
Hell yeah. So what's up, man? Yeah, Jordan. So what would you say, man, when it comes to, for new people, when it comes to their approach, like how do you want to show their perspective on this? Like, I know some people, it can be overwhelming, especially with the, with the attitude that we go, because a lot of us, we're like all in, let's do this whole thing, but, with different people's schedules. So how would you say is the approach? Like, how should people approach this, or how should we give the perspective to the people? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. I think it's going to help a lot of people. What I would do, and I'm not saying what I'm saying is always the perfect thing or the right thing or the best thing, but what's worked for me is just like meeting people where they're at. And I learned this from Holton Buggs. He said, find out where they are at, know where they're at, and like try to keep a lot of times we get so aggressive that it kind of just goes to everyone. And sometimes that can push certain people away. So basically, that's why I say, hey, have an iMessage with your top builders. Hey, have an extra chat with your people that really want to go hard at this. You can talk a different language with them. And then the majority of people kind of just give them a family loving environment approach and make sure hey, does this person think 150, 600 a month realistic, or they want to shoot for 2,000, 5,000, 10,000? And if they don't even see that yet, really want to just take off the pressure, just give them what they want, whatever they want. I've had people join that they literally join just for the community we have built. And I've had people that join because they just want to make money right now. I've had people, hey, I love the compensation plan, the residual income, it makes sense. I've had people, hey, I've seen you're helping people make money. So figure out why they joined. And you should figure that out before they even sign up. Why do you want to join? Why do you want to get started? So one thing, I'll go in a little bit deeper into that. One of the first questions I ask a prospect on the phone is, so what made you interested enough to hop on this call? So what actually made you reach out to me? What made you interested in Forex? So why are you interested in getting started? So why are you interested in getting on the opportunity call? Because when you know that answer, it's very easy to actually give them the right information and close them. It's very easy when you know why they want it. So if you know, hey, bro, I just want to make an extra $200 a week. I figured this would be a good way to do it. Awesome. That's what we're going to do. And that's the only thing you're going to talk about for the rest of the call. And that's like when they are a prospect, they haven't even joined yet. Just going into that a little bit, like if they say, hey, bro, I just want to have more time and quit my job. Don't even say anything other than, hey, this person quit their job by doing this. I remember a guy just like you put on a three-way call with someone that's similar to that person, that you can relate to that person, and say, hey, what's good, Johnny? But like, let's say, for example, you have a 45-year-old that wants to hit you up. You say, hey, I've been working the same job for 20 years. I'm tired of it. Well, don't put on a 20-year-old. Find someone older in the business, more mature, more professional, that they can relate to. And that's the key. And when they've already joined, the thing is, you should already know that. So once you know that, just remember it. This is why they joined. This is what they want. And just, you can kind of just give them a little bit of love on the side. Maybe, do whatever works best. But, that's just the main thing. Make sure you apply pressure to those that want it and need it. A lot of people need to be told what to do. So, a lot of times we probably have future chairmen in our business, but we just aren't applying enough pressure to them. They could go ahead and hit P1K the next 7 days, but you just haven't applied enough pressure yet. They told you they want to build, but the pressure has not been applied yet. And then if they don't want to build, just don't apply pressure to them. Let them do, give them what they want. If they want to build, apply pressure. That's kind of what I would say. That's what I would say. Okay. Yep. Yep. We have about 5 or 6 more minutes, so we can do a couple more. Okay. Renee has another one, and that's why, what, Renee and K-Rob, they're asking questions. And one thing I notice about them is the reason why they're about to hit Chairman 10 in the next 90 days is because they're willing to learn and accept change. They're willing to ask the questions. So shout out to you guys. Renee had 2 questions. That's how bad he wants to go chairman.
What? Johnny had the first question, but I was questioning why he was questioning you, to be honest. That really was my first question. But my main question is, seriously, so like I have, like, how do you deal with somebody that makes excuses without being inconsiderate? Because I'm a very like straightforward, like I feel like everything can be overcome with mindset, right? And just brute force. But some people, like I understand, need more nurturing. You know what I'm saying? So how do you overcome their objections or help them overcome their, without being.
That's a really good question. And, I've had difficulty with that before because I'm typically someone, I'm very loving and kind. And I want to be nice. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So it's like, for me to be confrontational, it's not something that's typically natural for me. But I would say, hey, they need you to be honest more than they need you to be nice. And if they can't take that, then they're probably not cut out for this anyway. And that's what I would say. Because like literally, guys, think about it. If you're not going to be that person to say that to them, then no one's going to say it. And if something needs to be said, I just say it in a loving way. I'd be like, hey, bro, I understand this is what you're going through. I definitely see what you see, but at the same time, bro, this is what you need to do if you want to get to the result. And if they don't listen to you, just call in me, call in someone else that maybe they would listen to. And that literally always, like almost always works. If they don't listen to you, find someone they will listen to. And I just be straightforward, because guess what? However, you have to be yourself and be honest and transparent and authentic. And however they feel about you is their choice. If they feel bad about if you're giving them advice in their best interest and saying, bro, listen, I've been in this before. I've seen someone in this situation. This is your way out. You need to do this. Hey, that's, bro, like, honestly, that's an excuse. I'm here for you, bro, but let's be honest, that's an excuse. And, if they feel bad, like, so be it. That's their own choice. That's really just their own choice. Okay, Hayden. It's good, Hayden.
So I was going to ask, do you have any tips when it comes to presenting? Like you said, if they don't want to necessarily join a Zoom call or something like that, make a presentation video. But the thing is though, like even with me presenting to people on Instagram and Facebook, the only people I'm like seeing that I'm able to pull in is usually close to my age, 17, 18-ish. But it's because these older people, I'm 15, I can't really gain that respect immediately. And do you have any tips when it comes to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a really good question. And one thing I had to learn, and that's something that I was not doing for my first probably year and a half. And it's like, if you want someone to take you seriously and to take you as a professional or business person, it's like, hey, you will attract. It's like, look at how you're dressing when you make posts. Look at how you're dressing on these presentation calls. Because guess what? If you dress like a professional, you're going to attract professionals. And if you dress like, for me, guys, and some of you guys know, like, the whole last year on the run up to Chairman 10, I mean, I was wearing a t-shirt, sweatpants. I was wearing t-shirts, But the thing is, guys, I know, no offense to 18, 19-year-olds, a lot of 18, 19-year-olds are getting after and they're grinding, they're hitting ranks. But guess what? Not a lot of 18, 19-year-olds are professionals in business. So if you want to attract people that are more successful than you or older than you or more mature than you, typically just dress like you're higher than your age, speak like you're greater than your age. And there's a lot of young people on this call that are doing that in some way, and you're already doing that. And I saw your video you posted, so I've seen that you're giving value already. You're already doing all the right things. And if you really want to just cut that curve, one thing to add on to that as well is you could just follow more people or add more people just to get your numbers a little bit up in your favor. Especially if for anyone on this call that's like they talked to 10 people in a row and no one was interested, like if that happens to you, that's fine. Like that's not it. That just means you're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean that, oh, I suck at this, I quit, I give up. That's not what that means. Kyle Prasad's Platinum 5000, and I personally did probably 20 op calls with him before he signed up any of them. And probably 20 to 30 of them, we got no, I don't have the money. I'm too young. I don't have the money. No, I don't have the time. Oh, that sounds good, bro. I'll let you know. You know why? Because number one, we didn't know what we were doing and we didn't ask the proper questions and energy. And, kind of just getting into that just a little bit to get off the question. But like, if you're doing that, that's a really good sign because that means you're a leader. Okay. But if you're doing that and it's not working, then you should leverage someone else. Okay. And a lot of people think they have to do it by themselves. I can tell you guys, and I was talking to Michael earlier today, shout out to Michael. He's taking the initiative and doing things that no one had to tell him to do. And that's why he's getting results. That's why he's about to hit Platinum 1000. And, I was very similar in the beginning. I wasn't really depending on anyone. I was just, hey, no one's got a call. I got to do a call because we'll realize why. That's what Gustavo told me. He said, hey, listen, I don't have to do the call every time. Hey, if you want a call done, do the call. Like literally at the end of the day, it's like by all means necessary, literally by all means necessary, whatever you have to do. If what I'm telling you doesn't work, find something else. There's always a solution to your problem. There's always a solution. Literally, it's a universal law. A problem cannot exist without a solution. That's a literally universal law. So just realize, guys, you are greater than your problems. And just to quote Joel Osteen, right? Don't talk about how big your problem is. Talk about how big your God is, because nothing can stop you when you are aligned with the Spirit, with God, with really the right intentions. Nothing can stop you. When you're doing things with your heart and not for greed, nothing can stop you. You're doing everything right. It's only a matter of time. It's literally only a matter of time. So keep that in mind. And that's what I say. Honestly, I don't even remember what the original question was. So kind of got off the topic of the question. But okay, Zay, what's good, Zay? What's going on, man? How's it going? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
What's up, man? How are you?
What's good, man? Doing great. Blessed.
Yeah. All right, so I know you kind of touched on it, but like my question was just like, what do you give to people that say that they don't have the money, like that kind of objection where they're like, they can't pay for it? Or like for me personally, like as I started trading, I learned that on my own. Now I start doing promos like every once in a while, like so I'll dunk down the price, but it's like they get intimidated by like the monthly. So like, what do you tell them? I mean, obviously I don't want to force anyone into it if they can't afford it, but I mean,
right.
Some people are really interested, so.
That is a really good question, and I think a lot of people have a very similar question to that. There's a lot of people, guys, drop a one in the chat if money is probably your number one excuse for not joining. Like literally, it's like, I just don't have the money. I just don't have it, right? So guess what, guys? Before it even gets to that point, you should know why they want to join, right? So if you know that, hey, bro, I've been working the same job, I'm tired of it, I'm gonna get out of it. Okay, so all right, so okay, Bob. Well, tell me this, bro. What is your other plan to not be working your job in the next 6 months? Okay, guess what? So we're gonna have to find a way to get the money. Like, it's that simple. We're gonna have to find a way. Like, I've had people sell their PS4. I've had people sell their shoes. I've had people donate blood plasma. Shout out to K-Rob the Banks. He literally himself and probably 5 or 10 other people all donated blood plasma to join. So it's like, if there's a will, there's a way. So I know, and what I would do is, if you address it before it even gets to that, usually you'll go back to that instead of addressing it the first time. And that's kind of a key thing. If you already know that, you've already talked about it, you've already addressed the pain. You know, Jordan Belfort, Way of the Wolf, I recommend writing that down. You know, if you want to learn how to close a sale, Way of the Wolf, Jordan Belfort, or Straight Line System, right? And what he says is, hey, you identify the pain and you're the solution. Hey, it doesn't matter. And you want to get their pain threshold lower, meaning it takes less pain, and you want their buying threshold to, or what, you know, whatever. I got to go study it a little bit more. But the point is, if the why is strong enough, the how does not matter. The why is strong enough, the how does not matter. And if they don't want to get started after, like, hey, bro, listen, you know, let's make you a plan. So your job pays you $150 a week. Awesome. So in 2 weeks, you're going to have this. This is more important than paying your bills on time. This is more important than your car. Because guess what? What's more important? Your path, literally your problems or your future. Like, and sometimes I've had people that have literally paid their rent late just so they could pay this next month. I've had people do that, and guess what? That's why they're seeing success today. That's why they're seeing success, because they were willing to do what seemed like a risky thing, what seemed like it was unrealistic. Guys, if you do anything and everything that's possible, you know, God in the universe will see that and reward you for that. When it looks impossible and it looks difficult and you still make it happen, that's when you're gonna get rewarded. So when it comes to someone, if they're not willing to sell something or figure out a plan with you to get in the next 2 weeks, I say 2 weeks is like the max it should take to come up with 235. Like, if you can't come up with 235, you know, in 2 weeks, you're just not trying hard enough. Like, you can literally you can go sell in garage sale, like you can go to a thrift store. So like, there's so many ways that you can just appear with 235, you know, work some extra hours, you know, whatever it is, there's always a way if there's a will. So that's what I would say. Just kind of you know, what can we sell, things like that.
Appreciate you, bro.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, Malik, what's good, my brother? How's it going?
What's good, bro? Peace. My question is, what advice do you have for when the people that you're looking to leverage may not be on the same time as you, like the right now basis?
Right. That's a really good question. Well, you could have multiple people, like maybe backup. You know, maybe Richard's busy, maybe I'm busy, maybe Gustavo's, maybe Ray's available at that time, you know, or maybe Ricky's available at that time, or maybe, you know, a lot of times if the person you want to go to, you know, find someone that doesn't even have to be on your team. I've done 3-way calls with and for people that aren't even on my team all the time. I do this all the time because I see it as just as we are all God's children, we are all in I am familia. We are all under Matt and Jason. No matter who's on what team, we're all under Christopher Terry. We are Christopher Terry's Forex children, right? Not to get so pretty much find, kind of the same thing as I answered the last one. You know, if there's a will, there's a way. And if anything, it's actually a good thing because, hey, you know, this guy's busy. Like, he's a busy person. You know, I'll find out a time. And that's what I'll do. Like, let's say you call me and I'm not available. Pretty much just say, you know, I'll give you a time or ask for a time and then give that time to your prospect. Hey, you know, he's a busy guy. He said he can do tomorrow at 4 p.m. Hey, this guy's really busy. And, you know, yep, your network is your net worth. You know, we know a lot of people. We're connected with a lot of people. And just kind of to add on to that, if you guys know someone that is of high influence, someone that maybe has a high following, maybe they were a captain or a leader in school, but you feel like you yourself don't have the influence over them, that's when, you know, shoot your shot, man. Like, send them a message. Hey, I'm involved in business with this guy. You know, tag Darwin Lopez, tag Mr. Banks. You know, say, hey, man, I'm working with these guys. You know, they told me to, you know, find someone that would be really good at business, someone that's positive mindset, someone that really wants to help other people. And I thought of you, bro. And you don't even have to have leverage over them. You have to know someone else that has leverage over them. That's really how it works. So that's a good question, and it kind of ties into the question that Malik asked. Did that answer your question?
Most definitely. Yeah. Appreciate that, bro.
Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. Renee has another one. Renee or Johnny might have this one. No? Or Christian? These are some good questions. You guys always ask good questions. So your hand's up. So I'm just going to assume. Okay. Okay. Eddie. Eddie has a question. Where's Eddie? Let me see. If you could raise your hand. All right. There you are. Perfect.
All right, bro. What's up?
What's
Yo.
good? How's it going?
So I always get I have the energy to bring people into the business, right? And there's always just one question that throws me off. It's always and you was talking about it earlier. I don't know if it's because I'm not honest. I don't know if it's maybe I'm not being honest, but it's they'll ask me how long will it take me to get my money back for the monthly, right? And honestly, I can't answer that yet because I still haven't I'm still working, I'm still. And always bring up the trading side of things, and honestly I haven't really profited like that. So you would you say work on my trading more right now, and then once I'm up, then start bringing people into the business?
That's a great question. No, see what I do, what I've always done is I balance the two. No matter where I'm at, building or trading, I'm always doing both, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So what you should say is, first of all, if someone asks you that question, they're probably not the right person anyway, because typically speaking, someone that wants to see fast money ends up rushing it and blowing their account anyway. And, you guys probably have seen that because they're just approaching with the wrong attitude. So what I would tell them is, hey, bro, I'm actually just learning. I'm still learning. I'm still pretty new. I can show you a couple of people that have more results than me, that I'm still a student. And, I can give you the right access to the right information, pretty much if that's the point. And, if they can't see that, they're probably just not worth your time. And if you had to give them an answer, it's just ask them this. This is if you have to give them an answer, ask them this. Say, hey, okay, so how much money do you want to make? And if they tell you they want to make the money back, the 165 or whatever, I just kind of paint the picture for them. Hey, this is really more of a long-term thing than a short-term. This isn't a get rich quick. This is a get rich eventually, right? And that's what it is. And kind of just tell them, okay, so let's just say 6 months minimum, really a year, honestly, if we're being honest, probably a year, but let's just say 6 months. Hey, bro, what amount of income in 6 months would it be worth it to you? And how long would you be willing to work each week to see that result? Because it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen as soon as you join. And if you can paint that picture for them, trying to kind of just turn it around on them and, try to be the person that's asking them the questions. And, a lot of times they don't even have time to ask you too many questions, but I would say that's probably the best answer. I got that from Austin Godsey. How many hours a week are you willing to work? Okay. For how long would you be willing to work that many hours per week to get this amount of income? And get those answers. All right, perfect. Well, that's the amount of time it's going to take. Awesome. Sounds good. And pretty much that's what I would say. Hopefully that answers the question.
Definitely. Perfect.
Awesome. Was there any more questions? We really want to wrap this up. Maybe one more if we have one more question. Okay, Renee has a question. All right, go ahead.
I actually wanted to touch up on what Eddie was just asking. So a lot of times, man, really what you want to do, if you don't have, not just for Eddie, but for everybody on this call, if you're not a P600, then you shouldn't be closing somebody by yourself. So the whole system is PS3, right? Peak interest, show the plan, three-way call. So you always want to have that backup in case you do have, questions like that. You know what I mean? So for me, for example, I teach everybody on my team how to PS3. So all those questions they'll ask, you'll have somebody with you on that three-way call afterwards that we're doing the close, we're doing the form and everything. But honestly, you can really hit them with how much money do college students make from their, you know what I mean? I'm not saying to say that, but no, most definitely. Anytime, after somebody gets off a call, you want to make sure you have a three-way call or helplines or your sponsor to help you close that individual. Just because they have more experience doing it. You never want to try to close somebody by yourself, especially if it's your first time, because trust me, you're going to get hit with questions you don't even know. And then people are going to try to ask questions. Well, people are going to ask questions just to try to sound smart, how do you do your taxes and stuff? And then you just kind of hit them with, I like the way you're thinking. The fact that you're even thinking about profits, really shows me that you're actually thinking, you're really seeing this in the future. You know what I mean? But But yeah, no, just for everybody on this call, if you're not a P600, honestly, like you shouldn't be doing any closing by yourself unless you're like a seasoned veteran that's like really been in this for a while. But even then, like the power of leveraging, the power of edification is huge. Is huge. Even if you've known somebody since kindergarten, you still want to get somebody you still want to get a three-way college upline because your friend from middle school or from high school, they might know you and they may trust you. But I think Jordan had touched upon this earlier, but they want to hear from somebody that has more experience. But yeah, I hope that would help. Yeah.
Yes, bro, absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that. Literally, like, if you're not a P600, just simply always get a P600 or above on a three-way call every single time. Literally, could not have said it better myself. And 9 out of 10 times, if you're not P600 yet, it's probably just because you haven't been on enough three-way calls yet. You haven't put your upline on enough three-way calls yet. And, yes, I'm saying upline, but like Renee said, really should be a P600 and above. It really should be a P600 and above. And the reason why is because, hey, if you knew how to close people well enough, you would have done it well enough to where you would already be P600, right? Does that make sense? And it's not like someone's better than you or you're worse than. That's not what that means. What I'm saying is, if you knew, you would have done it and had the result already. That's why you need to do the three-way calls, because you can, not only that, guys, Kevin Trudeau talks about there's 2 ways to get to unconscious competence, which is one of the 4 bases of success. And one of them is by doing it the right way, but the other one is by observing people do it the right way. So imagine you got Gustavo on a three-way call and you just let him do it, but while he's doing it, you're taking notes. Okay, what is he saying? What questions is he asking? What energy does he have? Let's say you get me on the three-way call. Hit me up. I usually drop my number in like every chat. Hit me up and say, hey, can you do a three-way call? All right, cool. What time? All right, bet. Let's do it. And those of you that hit me up, that I'm always down. I'm really always down to do that. And unless I'm doing another call, the answer is 9 out of 10 times it's gonna be yes. So it's like, leverage the people. If you have a P600, P1K that you work with closely, go ahead and get them on first. If you have someone high influence that maybe the P600, P1K can't close yet, go ahead and reach out to the chairmen and above. Say, hey, I got someone from this. He's got 30,000 followers, 10,000, 20,000, whatever. Just the whole idea is you want someone that has to the level or greater of success than your prospect. And it does not matter if you are dead broke right now. You can leverage someone else and still get the result. And really, that's how your business really explodes, is by bringing in influencers, people that are going to go ahead and bring in a lot of people. That's how your business really takes off. It's funny, actually, like a year and a half ago, and some of you guys know this story, I had a guy join my team. Kyle actually signed up someone that brought in 16 people in his first 2 hours, right? Out of nowhere. I was a P600 at the time. I had just a P600. 3 days later, someone joins my team and brings 18 people into one leg in like 2-3 hours, hits P1K in 3 days. I was like, oh my God, I'm 3 away from P1K and I didn't even know what to think. So it's like those things can happen to you randomly if you actually go. And you know what Kyle did to close him? He didn't do anything by himself. He had Darwin on the call. He had Gustavo on the call. He had Emery on the call. All of them closed the guy. And then because he was the person of influence, Kyle was 15 at the time. He was P150. A P150 signed up someone that signed up 30 people in his first 3 days. Like, just think about that. So if you're a P150 right now, that can happen to you as well when you go ahead and leverage someone else. And don't prejudge, don't think someone's too good or, oh, they're too good, they wouldn't listen to me. Like, that's the story you're telling yourself. If you can think of a way it won't work, you can think of a way that it will work. And if the will and the why is strong enough, the how literally does not matter. If you know the 4 bases of success, the how is the 0.01% of the radar screen. It's literally your radar, what you can see is 0.01%, meaning you're not going to see how to do it until you just decide to do it, and then it'll come into your radar, meaning you will be able to see that person's going to hit you up that says, hey, bro, I have 50 people that want to launch tonight. I want to join with you. Like, that's not going to happen until you put enough belief, focus, energy, and effort into your goal. Once you can transmit the frequency of your goal over and over and over and over consistently, and I'm going to give you guys a nugget. Write this down real quick. This is probably the last thing I'm going to say. Asking is given. It talks about this, right? It takes 17 seconds. 17 seconds. You know how we say what you focus on the most? is what happens. What you focus on grows. What you focus on becomes, right? There's an actual mathematical formula for this. This is scientifically proven, right? 17 seconds to get thoughts spiraling in your favor. So that means 17 seconds of focusing on one thing. And I recommend focusing on believing your goal is already done. It takes 17 seconds. And what's going to happen is all thoughts attract like thoughts, but you have to get the ball of energy going in your favor. And a lot of times we're afraid to take action because we're thinking the wrong thoughts. We're thinking we can't do it. We're thinking of the how, like, oh, it doesn't seem possible. But if you can just say, I'm so happy and grateful, write this down, goal card. We probably talked about this before, but have a goal card on you. My first year in the business, I heard to have a goal card probably 50 times and I still didn't do it. So if you don't have a goal card right now, literally look, it's right here on my desk. I usually have like 2 in my pocket. I just put on a new pair of pants right here, goal card, put your goal card on the camera if you have it on you right now. Okay. And I'm going to tell you exactly why you need to have your goal card on you. Scientifically proven. This is when spirituality and energy meets science. This has been proven, guys. 17 seconds of thinking about your goal starts to get your thoughts working in your favor. 68 seconds, write this down. Focus on your goal for 68 seconds straight. And guess what, though? That's when you allow the law of attraction to work. Because if you don't think about it long enough, you haven't focused enough energy on it. Therefore, you have Navarro. That's hilarious. Have it on the forehead. That's lit. But if you haven't focused on it long enough, that's why nothing's happening. Because you just look at it once and that's it. Oh, I wrote it down last week. Oh, I wrote down my goal yesterday. Oh, I wrote down my goal this morning. Hey, but what if you carried it in your pocket and every time you started to feel bad or you're not feeling as great as you could, why don't you pull out your goal card and focus on it for 68 seconds? Why don't you literally read in your head 10, 20, 30 times? I'm so happy and grateful now that I am whatever rank or whatever income or that I'm quitting my job. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm impacting this many people. I'm so happy and grateful now. And just read it to yourself until you feel like you believe it. If you don't believe it when you say it's because you're not focusing on it long enough. Okay. And when you focus on it for 17 seconds, it starts the energy to spiral in your favor. Now you can kind of start to replace it. 68 seconds is when something can literally physically come into your life because you focus on it long enough. That's how the law of attraction works. It's in the book, Ask and It Is Given. Highly recommend it. It's not really a beginner book if you're kind of new to personal development or spirituality. It's more of an advanced book. You want to read Think and Grow Rich first. You want to read Magic of Thinking Big. You want to read How to Win Friends and Influence People. Gotta get your mind flowing. And if you're ready, if you're one of those people that you're already deep into the universe and spirituality and believing in prayer, if you're into that stuff already, I 100% get this book right now. Ask and It Is Given. Ask and It Is Given. Jerry and Esther Hicks. And it tells you guys how the law of attraction works scientifically. They've put brain scans on people and just tested the fact that literally our brain is a transmitter of frequency and energy. That's why when you think about something, it sends a signal to the universe, but it doesn't send the signal until 68 seconds of focusing on it. But what happens, guys, we unconsciously think negative for 20 minutes straight, for an hour straight. If you're ever feeling bad, that's a reflection of how you're thinking. That's a reflection of how you're thinking because you were unconsciously, competently, without thinking about it, automatically thinking negative for over a minute straight, and that's why bad things are happening to you. That's why if something happens to you that you don't want, it's because you were thinking the wrong thing, because we vibrationally create everything in our life because our brain is a transmitter of frequency. Whatever you send out, you get back. The law of correspondence, right? And that's just the way that it works. But, I'm going to go ahead and end the call up like that. I appreciate everyone for hopping on, really staying on at the end, ask some really good questions. And I'm really excited for September 4th, Houston. Make sure you guys plan that into your schedule. Houston, September 4th. We're going to be having calls like these next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You already know the drill. If someone on your team needs to be on this call, just make sure they're on the call. It's the art of promoting. It's the art of promoting. If you haven't gotten the results yourself, leverage someone else who has a result, then you will get the result. And appreciate you guys once again. Let's go ahead and run it up. I'm excited. There's going to be so many chairmen, dozens of chairmen popping in this organization this year. And if before you hop off, if you're one of those chairmen, drop a 777 in the chat. Are you going to be one of the chairmen in 2020 in Wealth Club? Are you going to be one of them? Are you going to be one of them? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and make it happen. It's already done. It's already done. Get it.